Do you ever get the feeling that history isn't just repeating itself at Forrester Creations, but it's actually stuck on a loop? Was Brooke's latest move really just a bold request for a promotion, or was it something much deeper and more calculated? It's a question that has every fan of the show talking right now because things just took a massive turn. Well, let's think about it for a second. Is Brooke Logan truly trying to help the company, or is she finally tired of playing second fiddle to Ridge's daughter? The drama is hitting a boiling point, and it feels like a total corporate takeover is happening right before our eyes. You've got to wonder if this is the start of a new era or just the beginning of a very messy end for Ridge and Brooke. So, let's dive into what happened because Brooke Logan is definitely not holding back anymore. The funny thing is that Brooke didn't just bring this up in a boring office meeting. She made it a whole production. She actually set this romantic mood at her place, put on some lingerie, and offer Ridge a drink before dropping the bomb. Honestly, in my opinion, that's a pretty intense way to ask for a job title. It really feels like she's using her relationship as a weapon to get what she wants in the boardroom. Why did she feel the need to do that? Maybe she knew that asking Ridge to unseat his own daughter would be a hard sell if she didn't add a little extra persuasion. She's telling him that they could be the new Eric and Stephanie, which is a huge psychological play. She's basically telling him that for their marriage to be whole, they need to be coalesced together. It's a massive move that puts Ridge in a position where he is to choose between his wife and his child. If you look at the psychological layer here, it's all about Brooke's legacy anxiety. She has spent years as the muse or the creative force, but she's realizing that titles are the only thing that actually protect you in that building. She sees her daughter Hope's fashion future hanging by a thread, and she's panicking. If Brooke doesn't grab the power now, she knows Steffi will continue to sideline the Logans. It's a fight for survival disguised as a romantic partnership. Don't you think it's a bit much to ask a man to demote his daughter just so his wife can feel more secure? Brooke is essentially telling Ridge that his loyalty to Steffi is getting in the way of their power couple future. I personally think this is one of the most selfish things Brooke has done in a long time because she knows exactly what this will do to the family dynamic. Then you have Steffi, who is living in a total dream world before the storm hits. She's at the office, celebrating these huge deals, and even Finn is there gushing over her. He's calling her a top dog and saying she's the best leader the company could have. It's actually kind of sad to watch her be so happy because you know her father is about to walk in and break her heart. Why was she so blindsided? I think it's because she honestly believed her father's professional respect for her was untouchable. To her, the co-CEO spot isn't just a job, it's her identity as a Forrester. When Ridge starts dropping hints about Brooke's contributions, you can see the confusion on Steffi's face. She thinks he's talking about some drama with Hope's line, but the truth is way worse. When the truth finally comes out, Steffi's reaction is exactly what you'd expect. She doesn't just disagree. She is absolutely aghast. Can you blame her? Imagine your dad coming to work and telling you that your stepmother wants your chair. Steffi realizes that Brooke isn't looking to join her. Brooke is looking to replace her. The psychological impact here is devastating for Steffi because it proves that no matter how much money she makes for the company, she is still just a second priority to whatever Brooke wants. I absolutely agree with Steffi's outrage here because she is currently winning, so why should she have to step down? It's an insult to her professional competence and everything she's worked for, and let's not forget about Hope, who is basically the cheerleader in the background of this whole mess. She is thrilled by her mother's determination and is already imagining a brighter future for her fashion line. But is she being a bit delusional? She actually thinks that Brooke becoming co-CEO will magically solve all her problems. It feels like Hope is using her mother as a shield, so she doesn't have to face Steffi's professional critiques herself. Why can't Hope just stand on her own 2 feet? She's so tired of answering to Steffi that she wants the whole game rigged in her favor. It's a very weak move disguised as family support. Liam even warns her that she's being unrealistic, but she just brushes him off because she's so desperate for a win. The craziest part of all this might actually be happening away from the office between the Logan sisters. Donna and Katie are having a full-on meltdown over Katie's plans for her own business. Katie is thinking about hiring Hope for her new Logan brand, and Donna just loses it. She actually calls Katie a poacher and says she's using Hope to secure her own success. I mean, wow, tell us how you really feel, Donna. It's so interesting because Donna is usually the calm one, but now she's acting like the gatekeeper for Brooke's interests. She basically tells Katie that Hope belongs at Forrester with Brooke, no matter what. It's like she thinks the Logans can only be successful if they are all huddled together under Brooke's wing. Katie's response is honestly refreshing because she's finally standing up for herself. She refuses to apologize for using her own name or for trying to build something independent. Why does Donna feel so threatened by this? I think it's because the Logan sister dynamic is based on everyone supporting the alpha Logan, which is Brooke. By Katie trying to hire Hope, she is breaking that hierarchy. Donna's explosive reaction shows us just how close these sisters are to a total implosion. It's not just about a job offer. It's about who has the right to use the Logan name for power. Katie sees Hope as an asset, but Donna sees her as a betrayer if she leaves her mother. Does it strike you as a bit much for Donna to get this angry? She's literally almost crying over a career move. It really makes you wonder if there's some old resentment bubbling up here. Maybe Donna is jealous of Katie's independence, or maybe she's just terrified of anything that might upset Brooke. Either way, the Logan family divide is getting deeper by the second. It's clear that business and family loyalty are clashing in a way that might never be repaired. I think Katie is right to want to grow her business, but she's clearly underestimating how much drama it's going to cause with her sisters. Back at the office, Ridge is stuck in what I would call his worst nightmare. He is caught between a rock and a hard place, and he has no idea what to do. On one hand, he wants to make his wife happy and run the company as a power couple. On the other hand, he knows that pushing Steffi out is a total betrayal of his own daughter. Why can't Ridge just say no? It's his classic problem. He wants everyone to love him, but he lacks the backbone to set a real boundary. His silence is making Steffi even more furious because it shows him actually considering the idea. It's a total mess, and he's the one who let it get this far. The funny thing is that while Ridge is struggling, Brooke and Hope are already moving on to their next plan. They are creating what the spoilers call a secret path forward. This tells me that they aren't going to take no for an answer from Ridge or Steffi. If the direct approach doesn't work, what are they going to do next? Are they going to try to turn the board against Steffi? Or maybe they'll use some other form of leverage to force her out. It feels very underhanded and a bit desperate, don't you think? Hope and Brooke are basically forming their own little alliance to take down the Forresters from the inside. If you think about it, this is the ultimate test for Ridge's leadership. He's managed to keep the peace for a while, but now the walls are closing in. Steffi has officially forbidden the promotion, which is a huge line in the sand. She's basically telling her father that if he picks Brooke, he's losing his daughter as a business partner. It's a high-stakes game of chicken. I personally think Ridge will eventually cave to Brooke, because he usually does, but the cost is going to be astronomical. He might keep his wife happy for a week, but he'll probably lose his daughter's respect forever. Let's talk about the emotional weight for a second. Steffi is feeling totally betrayed by the person she trusted most. She worked hard, she brought in the deals, and her reward is her dad asking her to step down for his wife. That's gotta hurt on a level that business can't even describe. On the flip side, Brooke feels like she's finally standing up for what she's earned. She's spent years as the muse, but she wants the title to match her influence. She's tired of being treated like a guest in the house she helped build. So you have two women who both feel entitled to the same chair for very different reasons. What do you think is really behind Hope's push for this? Is she really just happy for her mom, or is she using Brooke to get revenge on Steffi? It really feels like Hope is tired of the professional jabs and clashing she has to deal with every day. If her mom is the boss, she can basically do whatever she wants. It's a very tactical move for someone who always claims to be the good person in the room. I think Hope is being way more manipulative than she's letting on, and Liam is the only one who sees through it. He's constantly telling her to look at other options, but she's obsessed with winning this battle at Forrester. The psychological layer for Hope is all about learned helplessness. She's so used to having her mom fix her problems that she doesn't know how to handle professional failure on her own. Instead of making her fashion line better, she's just trying to change the leadership so no one can tell her no. It's a cycle that we've seen before, and it never ends well. Don't you think it's time for Hope to actually leave Forrester and see if she can succeed without her mother's protection? That would be a real bold move, but I don't think she has the nerve to do it. And then there's the Donna and Katie situation, which is just tragic. These are sisters who should be supporting each other, but business is tearing them apart. Donna's accusation that Katie is poaching Hope is such a strong word. It implies that Hope is just a piece of property that belongs to Brooke's side of the family. Katie is rightfully insulted by that. She's a Logan too, and she deserves to build her own legacy without being accused of stealing from her sisters. The fact that Donna can't see that shows just how deep the Logan sibling rivalry really goes. I personally believe that Donna is overstepping her bounds in a big way. She should be encouraging Katie's independence instead of trying to shut it down. Why is it okay for Brooke to run a company, but not Katie? It feels like there's a real double standard within the Logan family. Donna is acting like Brooke's enforcer, and it's creating a divide that's going to last all through the summer. If they keep going like this, the Logan sisters are going to end up in a war that makes the Forrester/Logan feud look like a playground fight. So, what is the path forward that Brooke and Hope are creating? It sounds ominous, doesn't it? It suggests that they're planning something that might be a bit off the books. Maybe they're going to try to convince Carter or the other board members that Steffi is a liability. Or maybe they'll use some secret information to push her out. Whatever it is, it's going to make things at Forrester Creations much messier than they already are. Steffi is already on high alert, and if she catches wind of a secret path, she is going to go nuclear. The tension is just unbelievable right now. You have Ridge in the middle, looking puzzled and pained while everyone around him is screaming for power. It's a complete mess in Los Angeles. I think we are heading toward a massive confrontation that will change the company forever. If Ridge names Brooke as co-CEO, he's basically declaring war on his own kids. If he doesn't, he's going to have a very unhappy wife who feels betrayed after her lingerie pitch failed. There is no winning for Ridge here, and honestly, he deserves it for being so indecisive for so long. Let's look at the future impact of all this. If the Logan takeover actually happens, what does Forrester Creations even look like anymore? It becomes a company run by Logans for Logans. That would be a huge shift from the dream team of Ridge and Steffi that everyone was just celebrating. I think the fans would be pretty divided on that, too. Some people want to see Brooke back on top, while others think Steffi has earned her spot as the new generation of leadership. It's a debate that's going to trigger a lot of strong opinions in the comments, I'm sure. The funny thing is that Ridge was actually shocked by Brooke's request. Most people would be. No man expects his wife to ask him to fire his daughter or demote her over a romantic drink. It shows a level of audacity from Brooke that we haven't seen in a while. She's feeling more confident than ever, probably because Hope is in her ear telling her she can do it. It's a very dangerous combination of ego and desperation. Brooke wants to be the queen again, and she's willing to burn some bridges to get there. Wait, let's think about Eric for a second. Donna mentioned that he agreed to work for Katie, but it feels like the Logans are just using him as a pawn in their game. Katie says he came to her, but Donna still thinks she's poaching. It's all about the names and the labels. If you have the Logan name, you have power, but only if you use it the way Brooke wants you to. It's a very restrictive way to live, and I can see why Katie wants out. She's tired of being the other Logan sister who has to ask for permission to be successful. You think Katie will actually go through with hiring Hope? If she does, she's basically declaring war on Brooke. Donna warned her that it's a recipe for disaster, and she might be right. It would tear the mother-daughter team apart and create a divide that can't be fixed. But maybe that's what Hope needs. Maybe she needs to get away from both Brooke and Steffi and find her own voice at Katie's company. It's a fascinating possibility that would totally change the show's dynamics. The psychological layer here for Donna is fascinating because she's acting like the family's moral compass, but she's being very biased. She previously supported Katie's independence, but now that it involves poaching from Brooke, she's suddenly horrified. It shows that her loyalty isn't to fairness or success, but strictly to the family hierarchy with Brooke at the top. She's scared that if the sisters stop being a unified front, they'll lose their influence over the Forresters. It's a fear-based reaction that is only making things worse. Let's be real, Ridge is just waiting for someone else to make the decision for him. He's puzzled and pained, but he's not taking a stand. Steffi has to be the one to say no because her father won't. That puts her in a terrible position where she looks like the villain to Brooke and Hope, even though she's just defending her own job. It's a classic Ridge move. Let the women fight it out while he looks sad in the corner. I personally think he needs to step up and tell Brooke that her request was inappropriate and move on. But we know that's not going to happen. The path forward for Brooke and Hope probably involves some kind of mutiny inside the company. The spoilers even mention that Forrester Creations is hit with multiple mutinies. This suggests that it's not just Brooke and Hope. Maybe other employees are starting to take sides, too. It's going to be absolute chaos in the coming weeks. You can almost feel the tension through the screen as the Logans and Forresters prepare for another explosive battle. It's like a corporate version of a civil war, and nobody is safe. I personally think the show is setting us up for a major change in the status quo. They keep using words like imploding and shaking up and outrageous request. This isn't just a small plot point. It's a foundational shift in how the characters relate to each other. Brooke is more determined than ever, Steffi is more defensive than ever, and the Logan sisters are more divided than ever. It's the perfect storm for some high-stakes daytime drama. If you were in Ridge's shoes, what would you do? Would you choose your wife's bold new strategy, or your daughter's proven leadership? It's an impossible choice, but he's the one who created this mess by never setting boundaries. I think he's going to try to find a middle ground that makes everyone unhappy, which is his specialty. Maybe he'll suggest they all be coerced together, which Steffi already laughed off as a disastrous plan. It's just a total train wreck that we can't stop watching. Point one thing is for sure. Hope is finally getting the brighter future she wanted, but it's built on a very shaky foundation. She's so excited about Brooke saving her line that she's not even thinking about the damage it's doing to the family. She's counting on her mother to fix everything, which just shows how much she's still acting like a child. It's a toxic dynamic that is only going to get worse as Brooke pushes harder for power. I personally think Hope is in for a rude awakening when she realizes that Steffi isn't going down without a fight. The psychological interplay between Steffi and Brooke is the core of this whole show. They both see themselves as the rightful leader. Steffi because of her blood and her work, and Brooke because of her history and her relationship with Ridge. Neither one is willing to compromise, and that's what makes it so interesting. It's a clash of two very different types of entitlement. Steffi thinks she's the top dog, but Brooke thinks she's the queen mother who deserves the crown back. What do you think of Donna's behavior here? Is she being a supportive sister, or just a flying monkey for Brooke? I think she's being incredibly unfair to Katie. To accuse her sister of poaching and using their niece is a really low blow. It shows that in Donna's mind, Katie's success is less important than Brooke's comfort. That's a really sad dynamic for a family to have. I hope Katie sticks to her guns and builds her business anyway, even if it means Donna and Brooke are mad at her for a while. The Logan takeover that the spoilers are talking about sounds like it's finally happening, and it's going to be a wild ride. It's not just Brooke in the CEO office, it's a total shift in corporate dominance. Long-standing alliances are being tested, and the future of the fashion house is in a state of absolute uncertainty. This is exactly what the fans have been waiting for, some real, high-stakes drama that actually has consequences. I personally can't wait to see how it all unfolds. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Forrester/Logan war, make sure you hit that like